Hello, and welcome to the Dahlia World Garden's presentation of Seattle at Dawn, a Mage the Ascension Chronicle. I am our storyteller, Tim Dahlia. Thank you for joining us. If you like our show and want more, you can catch all of our magical shenanigans on our YouTube playlist. And while you're here, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. They say, magic without conscience is a terrible thing. In order to sidestep the worst excesses of wizard tyrants and to punish them when necessary, the Convocation established tradition protocols that would apply to all members equally. As with any set of laws, the equally part has turned out to be rather flexible over the years. Even so, the rules have lasted over 5 centuries. Younger mages might snicker at the archaic verbiage, but the principles behind these laws are clear enough. These protocols are as follows: respect those of greater knowledge. Considered to be common sense, this protocol is based on the idea that knowledge is both value and power. A tutor's debt must be repaid. Each tradition handles this in their own way, but it is a serious mark upon a mage who fails to repay their debts. A mage's word is his honor. Break not a sworn vow. An oath is considered an act of magic in itself. To violate one disrespects the arts. Liars tend to be shunned if and when they are caught. Oath breakers are often branded, even in the more permissive new millennium. The will of an oracle must always be obeyed. Yeah, right. We can throw that one out. Are there any oracles left? Betray not your cabal or chantry. This might be the council's most unforgivable sin. A mage who betrays her fellows is branded, ostracized, and often killed. Conspire not with the enemies of Ascension. This is perhaps the second most serious offense, although conspiring and enemy are open to interpretation. Protect the sleepers. They know not what they do. As far as tradition members are concerned, this is the whole point of their organization. And the final one: be subtle in your arts, lest others know you for what you are. This is the rule of shade, and it isn't part of the original protocols, but since the burning times, it has been common sense. Some folks obey this one more than others, though it's been. Oh, but given the prevalence of monitoring technology, video cameras, cell phones, and the dreaded YouTube post, a flashy wizard's basically writing her own death warrant. Tradition mages, who break minor protocols, are usually dealt with by their group's elders. Serious violations, however, may be brought before a formal tribunal. In the absence of strong organization and master mages, such tribunals were pretty rare, so serious offenders might simply be killed by their cabal mates if they stepped too far out of line. But as the New Horizon Council approaches its 9th year of reconstruction, order and structure has come back to the mainstream thought of chantries across the world. Breaches of protocol are looked at more closely than they were in the days of the Rogue Council's transmissions. For better or for worse, this is where the fragile path has led. Joining me tonight are mages that may be feeling some of that new pressure. Alix, go ahead and let
I
us know
knew
who you
it
are.
was gonna be me. I knew it. Okay. Hi. My name is Alix. I use they them pronouns. I am going to be playing Jezebel Spinner, who is kind of interested to see what's up with this tribunal, because she doesn't like being on punishment, and that's what it smells like is coming. So yes.
All right. Of course it's going to be you. I'm going alphabetically this time. Billie.
Hi, I'm Billie. I use she, her, or they, them pronouns. Play Charlie Newell. Yeah, Charlie. Charlie doesn't like this whole idea of being judged, and the he's kind of going back over everything that they've done and like wondering if like did they make some little mistake that he just didn't see? Don't know.
Yeah.
We'll guess we'll find out.
I mean, you were given warning, so it's not so bad. And Cindy.
Hi, I'm Cindy. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Inea nay Blackwell, who is gearing up for belligerence if necessary. She's still, her hands are still pretty raw, and she's a lot irritated with suddenly being called in front of a tribunal group she didn't know anything about until a few months ago, and shit keeps happening that they didn't start but that they have to keep finishing. And it's getting pretty irritating.
Fair enough. And then added into the mix, we have a guest star. It is Wim. Hello. Tell us about yourself, Wim.
I'm Wim. Use pronouns he, him. I'm going to be playing Vesper Watts, who uses they, them pronouns. And I'll leave most of it kind of a secret about what Vesper is, and what they're doing and what their role will be. So most of it is also still a secret to me, but that's
fair.
fun.
That's all about the fun. All right. Well, here we all are. Like the traditions, the Technocratic Union has its own protocols. They are known as the 6 Precepts of Damien. Thinking about it, anybody named Damien immediately evokes like the evil, right? But that's not what's really going on. Our guest tonight should be familiar with these Precepts of Damien, else they risk the status of being unmutual. Thus far, Vesper Watts has managed to remain mutual as a black suit initiate. So, Vesper, let's talk a little bit about what's going on with you.
Yeah. Yeah, still fairly new in needing to prove self. All that fun stuff. Want to give like full background stuff, or are we just
Well,
general
here's
stuff?
what we're gonna do.
Okay.
I'm going to change the scene.
Scared.
Several years ago, you had an encounter after several years of training and being brought into the military special forces, Green Berets, sniper specialty. You encountered something unexplained, some disastrous encounter, and the speed and ferocity of what you faced changed you. You had a realization that there was more to everything around you. And you always suspected that there was. Some of the missions you had been on had hinted here and there. Some of your own experiences told you that reality isn't all that is presented to you. Following this incursion, you were brought in and groomed with the New World Order, who saw a special place for you in the Technocratic Union. And you are not a ordinary citizen. You are not even an extraordinary citizen. You are enlightened. So, you suited up. You've helped do all sorts of repairs to the breaking of consensus. You shaved your head. You shaved your beard. Something that you were proud to have for such a long time, but conformity is a virtue in the New World Order. A few months ago, there was a event, a RDI, as they call it, Reality Deviant incursion, or incident, rather. And this happened in your hometown. You are born and raised in the Seattle Snohomish area. You've been here most of your life, and you have been assigned to Construct Gray. And inside Construct Gray is very much like any office building. There's all sorts of businesses that correspond to the local area. But you know, now more than ever, that there is a reason behind all of these organizations in this one building. That this is a central focus for the Technocracy. And in southern Seattle, an incident occurred that seemingly caused an implosion of a warehouse. You helped investigate this. You helped the agents put the pieces back together, and with your talents, we're going to have you do your first Arete roll. Or, in your case, Enlightenment roll.
Okay. Which dice pool was that?
There should be a button that just says either Enlightenment or
says
Arete
Enlightenment.
at the top. And while you're on the scene, you find and you pick up what appears to be a metallic bone with some joints. It looks like it may be part of some construct, some android or cyborg, something you've seen a little bit before. But you pick that up and you use your abilities to look into the past of a physical object. And you've got your equipment with you. So how do you go about doing some psychometry on this? I believe that's what it's called.
Usually, when I try to do anything with time, I will do it through some type of hypertech.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of use something that kind of looks like a scanner, but it itself doesn't really have too much effect. But I just kind of scan over the object and kind of slowly let the magic kind of feed information into my brain.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a neural interface here, it sounds like. And easy enough. The Technocracy has that technology. So, yeah, go ahead and roll your Enlightenment. Difficulty, we'll say, difficulty is going to be 6.
2 successes.
2 successes. Excellent. Okay. See how much you actually pull up from this. Magical reference chart. Where are you? Okay. So, you can see back into the past of this object, and your mind kind of reconstructs this physical body around this bone that's made of metal, and it becomes this person in a very distinct leather jacket. They have very stark features. They're muscular. They have uh, cropped hair. You recognize this is an old Hitmark unit. And you further recognize that it was not working for the Technocratic Union. It had somehow been reprogrammed. And that it had spent the past 5 years, at least, you can't see any further back, but you recognize that it does not have connections to the Technocracy. It was being controlled by some other outside group. And then you see, as you focus in further and you go through its timeline and you can kind of scrub back and forth mentally, you find the last moments of this entity's existence. And you see that it was in a fight with a average height or above average height, very thin man, and a Euro Native American woman. And then it turned onto its default programming and went to destroy any reality deviant it could find. And there seemingly was quite a few of them in this warehouse. And its actions led to a paradoxical implosion. You find this information out, and what do you do with that information?
First step of any operative when you get any information is to report it.
Fair enough.
I do immediately report it. Just all the information that I get, I just transfer over. Of like, they had this features. This is how they, what they were doing when they died. Because I'm sure that they would like to know that Technocratic Union property has been not working as intended for such a long time. They either would know about it or it's going to end up being a higher priority than whatever happened here.
Indeed. On site, there is a operative. You've worked with him before. He creeps you out a little bit. Because, like so many that you've trained under and trained with, his face is the same as theirs. And he appears to be incapable of growing hair, which is one of the reasons why everybody seems to go with the short hair, bald look. The conformity requires that you adjust to them. But your handler on site, Agent Lewis. Is this Agent Lewis? It could be Agent Lewis. Muscular, black man, bald, no facial hair, no eyebrows. Not that you could tell, because they constantly are wearing their mirror shades. He takes in the report and he's like, "That is good. That means that we have a lead. Could you provide us any details on the faces of some of these reality deviants that you report?"
I wasn't able to get so far as their faces, just that general description that I mentioned. Of course, if I would have had it, I would have reported it further.
Very well. We'll file this and we'll clean up here. Good work, Agent.
Thank you. Anything else you need me to do before I head off?
No. And he walks away. He's dealing with other agents, other groups, other findings that they have. But he is processing what you have.
I'll probably just head out. Just start wandering for a little bit. until I wait until I'm told for something else to do.
It isn't too long after that that you um, are assigned to another. Not really assigned. About a month later after this, because you get bits and pieces, you don't see the full picture. You're only a cog in the wheel, so to speak. Um, Not like the iteration X where everybody is meant to be the machine, but you are again part of a large organization. They have you housed in Construct Gray, and while you're there, you're still being integrated into the technocracy. You haven't fully joined. You've looked like an agent, but you're not a full agent yet. And at this point, you still have access and connection to the outside world. At this, there was an evening at the construct where you were not there. But that evening, because you were visiting with your family in Snohomish, but when you got back, you heard reports that there is a breach, that there were reality deviants that had been undergoing adjustment and had escaped, and the escape was arranged by outside forces, other reality deviants, other Temurds specifically. And you, how do you feel about that?
I think Vesper tries to not think about it too much. Is kind of the big thing of like readjustment didn't really go through too much, so it's not like a don't want to commit to saying like, well, the sound readjustment sounds really bad, but it could be okay. Uh, but the escape is more thinking towards like, okay, this is going to be the next thing that I'm going to have to deal with.
Do you take any investigative actions into that evening?
I would go and try and look for rumors but I'm not very good with people. I'm gonna go try and find Nala and see if she can do it for me.
Okay.
And see if they have any information for me. Just lay the
Yeah.
groundwork.
Yeah, one of your contacts, one of your friends from childhood, who happens to also have enlightened, is a little bit higher in the hierarchy, and it is not necessarily frowned upon to be curious, but you are trying to investigate into an area that is not your specialty. That being said, they do have a soft spot for you. And Nala, she's like, well, okay, let me show you some of the footage here, because this is kind of wild. And she shows the video footage from the lobby, and the lobby has what appears to be a DC style superhero, but done up with a hood, and it looks like they've got like Norse affectations on their gear, fighting a 10-15 foot long saber-toothed tiger. This is a creature that you've only heard rumors about, but apparently this was something brought out to deal with this emergency. And she and a pack of translucent wolves are attacking and take down this tiger. Go ahead and roll, because there's a lot of things going on in this video footage. Roll a perception and alertness. Or, no, perception and investigation, because this isn't really like alertness. So with your buttons, you would just choose a dice pool, and you can select perception as the first key and investigation as the second.
You said investigation?
Yes.
Okay, what's the difficulty?
It's going to be 6.
5 successes.
5 successes. Holy cow. That. Actually, 8 successes. Because 3 of those are 10s. Holy shit. Okay. Your perceptions on this are so acute and so keen that you are able to, as you scrub through the video, accurately and 100% see the face of every person involved in this. And I'm going to... Who else was there? There was a woman who looks exactly like one of the people fighting that hit mark that you researched just a month ago. As well as this gentleman. He also was fighting that hit mark. This woman was there as well. And these two were brought into... Actually, there's a third. There were... This guy. These 3 were escaping, and these are the reality deviants that were being adjusted. And these 4 had busted in. This woman was the woman behind under the cowl. So you don't necessarily get a great look at her, but with you're able to kind of get enough that you could reconstruct her face.
I immediately tell Null about so you remember that thing like a month back where I just kind of helped a little bit, and we just had that really rough description. It hasn't really gone anywhere. That's the same people. So I'll go look through some databases and see if I can find them, but I'll write down the description for you if you want to send that anywhere.
Yeah. Yes. Through your efforts and your reporting, these reality deviants that have escaped and those that were arrogant enough to attack this construct are all recorded, and you are given accommodation for just being able to make these connections. And we'll come back to this in a moment. Now, let us see what's going on with the Night Hunters. Vashon Island. The 3 of you. Sorry, I have 4 people in front of me, so the 3 of you have, in the previous night, had some adventures that have seriously compromised a friend. And this friend, Jennifer, who was working undercover, had indicated that she was okay and not in any danger. However, you received a message on your phone, Jezebel, from a gruff talking individual who told you that he was going to harm your friend if you attempted to do anything against him and his organization. The three of you put together a plan to cause a individual that would be holding her via phone, via correspondence magic from Charlie, via mind manipulation from Jezebel, and via getting the information all set correctly from Inea, worked together in a harmonious ritual, each casting your own individual effects to supplant a subliminal message into the recipient, into the person who answered the phone, who happened to be Jennifer herself. Quick thinking on your part, you were able to supplant the idea that she should come home. And that is where we left you off. What are you doing now? You can get rid of Ned. No one wants to see his face anymore.
What time is it now?
This is, I'd say, mid-afternoon. You've had your breakfast. You did your ritual of healing for Inea's head. So yeah, mid-afternoon's right.
Sounds to me like maybe it's lunchtime and we should talk about the events that have led us to being called in front of this tribunal or whatever the hell it is. Because I mean, not necessarily needing to get our story straight, because it's not like they wouldn't be, but you know, it's been a lot. It's been a lot over the last few months. And granted, they're probably mostly going to be concerned with what happened the other night at the Winterfest, but there's a lot of backstory to all that.
Yeah.
Understood. Frosty is like, I mean, sure. I mean, if you guys want to go over things, at least then that's something I can report back to Malcolm and crew.
Yeah. And Nay said lunch, so I'm on it. I'm thinking burgers, and burgers sound delicious.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
No argument here.
All right.
I'm going to get on it.
Okay. So, are you in your home, Mabel's home? Where are you? Where are you baking these burgers?
We can make some for Aunt Mabel too. So yeah, we're gonna make some for Aunt Mabel as well.
Okie dokie. So, Frosty takes a seat and he's like, "All right, I need just some pen and paper because my memory is shit."
I hand him one of Aunt Mabel's million notebooks. Because I'm sure she's got a shit ton.
She's got an entire, like, closet of just packed notes and pictures and just things from her very exciting history. She's had a life. and she's lived it well, and she's made notes along the way. But she does keep a blank pad here and there. She likes to, organize her thoughts.
I hand him a
And-
couple of pieces of paper and some pens.
All right, and Frosty is like, okay, cool. Let's kind of run this down. So the board is going to want to know your perspective of things. So yeah, let's just go ahead and write that down. So what specifically last night? What happened?
So we went to Winterfest because well, for one thing, it's Winterfest, but for another, we caught wind that there was going to be a demonstration there.
By the
And-
home guard.
Demonstration
By
by
the home-
who?
The home guard.
Yeah,
The home guard.
Home guard. Okay, cool.
And we have been watching the home guard because they keep popping up as at least involved with, if not the masterminds of this phenomena where homeless people have been being attacked in and around the homeless camps in the city.
Mhm.
So we'd been keeping an eye on them because their members are often involved in those beatings. So we went to Winterfest and kind of split our forces a little bit. I hung out where they were setting up their demonstration,
Okay.
and Charlie and Jezzy went down to, I have forgotten the name of the building.
The armory.
Yeah, the
That's it.
armory.
That's it. Because actually, I'm not sure how you guys ended up there.
Well, I wanted food.
That's fair.
And I
Yeah,
think
and
we
we were
were
just
on a
kinda
mission for
scouting
Coco.
around.
Yeah, we were just looking around for stuff and things, and I saw food along the way, and that's what happened. I think we were scouting for Coco in specific, which makes sense.
I don't think I need these details, but okay, thank you.
It
Anyway,
was good
so-
Coco, man.
So they ended up down at the armory, and I guess there was a showing of Spider-Man going on.
Yeah, there was a showing of Spider-Man, the Tom Holland one. And so I went to go and look in there because it's Spider-Man. And while I was in there, just before the end of the movie, a huge monster named Cancel broke through the screen and started trying to attack a streamer called Jolie Jones.
I think I've seen him. I've watched YouTube. I've seen him stuff. Yeah.
Jolie Jones is one of a bunch of streamers actually who's been going a little wonky online, and we happened to find him, and we had to fight in the digital web this giant monster that broke through the screen.
The fight with the digital monster in the digital web happened a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
So
something
does
like
this-
that.
Okay, so this
It was-
entity seems like it's digital. It's from
Yeah,
the web, or is
Well,
it?
that's where we first encountered it. It was actually chasing down Jolie Jones. It wanted to cancel him.
Yeah.
And
Fair enough.
we
I
got
mean, I want to
involved-
cancel him too. Dude is a douchebag.
I yeah, so not going to argue with you, but he was one of a number of streamers that I was monitoring on the web because they'd been, building up a following and then starting to act a little hunted, for lack of a better term, and then just disappearing. We actually
this-
managed to locate Jolie Jones.
Okay.
But that's the background behind the monster showing up and us knowing, having half a clue what to do about it. We'd encountered it before.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it broke through the screen. That's not uncommon. I mean, it's not normal, but I've seen weirder things.
On the scale of weird, it's not terribly high.
Like a 6.
Mhm.
All right, so you guys fought it, and then what?
Then
Well-
the home guard showed up.
Yeah, we were. Cancel had just disappeared. We at least ran it off. I'm not 100% sure we actually destroyed it,
Mm.
but it disappeared and did its best to take us with it. We did not even have a chance to process that before the home guard was on the hill above us. And their leader. Oh my god, I've lost his name.
Ned.
Ned.
Ned
Anyway.
Calhoun.
Calhoun, yes, the owner of that bar. Yes, that bar. Was ordering them to, well, finish the job.
Okay. Well. So, yeah, it sounds like with so far you were dealing with a spiritual incursion into this material plane. That's not good, but it doesn't sound like you were the cause of it. I may have to ask some questions of this Jolie gentleman. But okay. And you definitely protected sleepers. I mean, there's definitely nothing going bad there. And you rotated the wheel a bit on cancel, so that's good. Whatever it is, it may not be dead, but it's not here anymore. Maybe it'll reform. I mean, spirits are weird; they do things like that. I mean, hell, even we do that. I mean, I'll be back in a few hundred years. Just take another trip on the wheel, man.
You're
Well,
not wrong.
Jesse got a little information about Cancel, that it was being controlled.
Yeah, I tried to pry into its mind a little to see what or who was behind it. And I didn't get a name, unfortunately, or location, but I did get the sense that Cancel is being controlled by something or someone.
Okay, that is good information to have.
And I
Yeah.
can say for certain that certain members of the Home Guard are being controlled. I'm not sure if it's a coercion or if it was a contract willingly entered into. But when we tangled with them that day, some of them were incapable of shifting. But they were all being ridden by what I've been calling owl shards. They're shards of what I suspect is Big Owl Man. It's been causing or influencing these attacks on the homeless in the area. At this point, we don't have any proof of connection between whatever or whoever is controlling Cancel and whoever is putting these owl shards out there. But the two of them showing up within an hour of each other in the same location pushes the boundaries of credible coincidence.
Mm-mm. I don't believe in coincidence that way. That's too close.
Owl shards. Oh.
Those are actively visible to anybody with spirit sight.
Okay. I mean, all this seems fine. I don't think that there's going to be an issue. Like I said, they'll just have some questions for you. Okay. Anything else that we need to go over? I'm going to talk to that Jolie guy. Um,
That's all I can think of. I mean, it all. We have several investigations going at the same time. 2 of them collided that night.
yeah, well, that's how fate works sometimes. That's fine. Sounds good. You know what? How are those burgers coming?
They're good and they're done. I made smash burgers because I am incredible.
Right. The entire time while Frosty is taking his notes, he's using his other offhand and doing like little coin tricks and making the coin disappear, reappear. Which you're a bunch of magic users. It's like that's not that impressive, but the fact that he's doing it without magic is a skill that none of you have. Just that sleight of hand. It's a unique quality amongst mages, oddly enough.
Frosty's cool.
He can be.
Literally.
He is chill.
Frosty
Chill,
is
man.
chill. Oh God.
I'm putting that in my notes.
Frosty is chill. That's actually just all he wrote on the paperwork too. He didn't write anything else. He just wrote that over and over again. He actually wrote pretty decent notes. Speaking of note taking, yeah. With that, he's like, okay, well, we're good to go here. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna talk to that Jolie fella. He's upstairs, from what I understand. And then I'm going to go and talk to Malcolm, and you'll probably get a summons here in the next few days. I don't know exactly when. It'll be weird, but it's doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. So like this report, it may not be something that they're actively trying to get at. Although I am concerned about these owl walkers. That's a weird thing.
I mean, we're concerned too. It's something to be concerned about.
Yeah, it's not a good situation all around.
Well, no worries. Mal knows of him, and he's got you on it. And you guys have done well. So I'm gonna do this, but first I'm gonna eat this smash burger. And so he digs in.
Hey, Charlie, have
Yeah.
you heard anything from Mark?
No, not yet. I need to check in with him.
That's probably the next thing we can do at least until Jennifer shows up here and we can have a sit down with her.
Yeah, because what the hell?
Uh-huh.
I'll give him a call.
Okay. You gonna call him now?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay. So the group of you and Mabel and Frosty finish up the meal. Get things cleaned up. Frosty goes and does his thing, talks to Jolie. And you're free to call whoever you like.
All right, well, I'm going to call up Mark Kardashian.
Excellent. So you give a call out, and almost immediately there's a answer. There's like not one or two rings, and Mark answers. Well, hello there, Charlie Newell. Good to hear from you.
Thanks, Mark. It's good to hear from. It's good to talk to you too.
Yeah.
I was wondering if, like, for one, if you had heard anything about the goings on last night at Winterfest.
I heard you were there, and I heard it was a potential breach of the rule of shade.
I mean, we did what we had to do. Didn't do anything that we shouldn't have done.
I believe that. How are
Yeah,
you?
just
Are
kind
you,
of.
are you okay?
I'm good. It was well, luckily we didn't. Nobody was terribly injured or anything like that. We got out of it okay, and
That's good because
it
I'm not a
was
personal injury
chaos.
lawyer.
Good.
Not my
That's
specialty.
not the kind that we need.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, how are things on on the other side of things?
Oh, things are going pretty well. I filed a motion and we've been able to relocate Joel from the rudimentary facilities here in Forks to a better equipped mental facility in Bellevue. It's a bit far away, but it's one of the best ones out there, and they're going to do some real tests and um, use their science to figure out what's going on there. Um, we've got a couple of inroads with the doctors there, so we'll be able to get a more definitive answer as to what's afflicting Joel. And this also kind of delays any court proceedings in terms of, like, accusing him of this particular crime.
Well, that's good. That's good on both fronts.
It's been a challenge, but the courts here are pretty they're not as backed up as they are in other places around here. This sort of thing is not common, so been able to get some pretty quick, swift justice so far.
Well, you are just absolutely amazing.
Well, that's what they hire me for. And I'm not to, well, okay, to brag a little bit. Yeah, I don't think anybody else could have gotten this as well handled so far. I do feel bad for you and your family, though, because the Bogshiel Coven has definitely taken some harassment due to this.
Yeah, it's not unexpected. I mean, whenever something unexpected, unusual happens out there, the eyes get turned in that direction. And this is like right in our, it's our family.
Yeah. And yeah, I would say it would be interesting if it wasn't so banal,
Right.
Because yeah, anytime there's any type of tragedy, it's like blame the witches. So I feel for you.
Thanks.
That being
For
said,
everything.
oh, no worries. This is getting cleaned up, though. I should also mention there is the Ascension truce in the city has largely stood. There's not an official treaty or anything like that, but this is a little bit more involvement with the Technocratic Union than we normally see. Normally, they don't go into psyops to simply discredit a single mage or anybody in the traditions. So I'm I'm now really curious about your statement. Obviously, we don't want to talk about it here on the phone. Um, there's way too much that can be overheard. I'm just too paranoid.
Yeah. And
But
rightly.
there's definitely. I'm not sure why they targeted you, and I'm not sure what you know or what they think you know that is causing them to react this way.
Yeah, I'm
That's all I can say on it.
certainly not going to talk about that over the phone. If there was something, I mean, I don't know.
Well, when I'm less busy, I will pop in. I'll do my best. Out there in Vashon Island, it's not as easy to just pop in, but that's okay. I can walk if I have to.
Okay. Well, then hopefully I'll see you soon.
Okay, I look forward to it. I'll be in the Bellevue area soon. I'm gonna work a little bit more with Joel, see if I can find more from him. But yeah, it's good talking to you. Glad you're safe. Oh, I'm silly me. How is Jezebel and Inea? It's not all about you.
They're doing well as well. That battle at the Winterfest was it was rough on us and especially rough on them, but I think we're recovering well now.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear it. All right. Well, you have a good night. I will catch you soon.
Hey, you too.
And he hangs up, and you guys are now back in Vashon Island still. Having eaten your smash burgers, having given a debriefing of sorts to Frosty, and after your conversation, Frosty is like, okay, well, I've talked to that guy, Jolie. He is definitely going down a rabbit hole. I will catch you guys later. I am going to do what I can. I'm going to talk to Malcolm, and he heads out, and he gets into this really old, beat up, like gray station wagon, and drives off.
I think he was wrong about Jolie. Jolie lives in rabbit holes. He's not going down one.
He is the rabbit hole, yo.
He's a rabbit.
Yeah.
He could just be the rabbit. Yes.
He's the rabbit.
That works. Okay. And what are you doing as a group or individually at this point?
Well, I'm going to update them on my phone call.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, it's obvious to me why they're looking for me. I mean, it's got to be the whole alien encounter situation, and I don't know so much if it has to do with that missing, the missing piece of tech that we ended up with, and well, that we don't have anymore.
It exploded.
Yeah. Glitch may have done bad things to it.
As glitches.
But at least there
often
was
do.
some good news out of that phone call.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it does sound like he's been able to make some progress with protecting Joel, at least.
Yeah. I don't know what we're gonna do about us, though. It seems like we've really got their eye on us, and with all of this other stuff that's going on, with the home guard and all that stuff, it just seems to be, it's not helping our cause at all, because it's just
No.
making us a sore thumb, and we're having to stick that sore thumb into beast nests.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be neat if one or more of these stupid situations would simmer down. They all seem to want to boil over at the same time.
I mean, if they're boiling over at the same time, I don't know, maybe somebody is trying to prove a
Yeah, is there a
point,
bigger
or
hand here somewhere?
there's
I'm
got to be.
starting.
Gotta be.
So, at the risk of jumping at shadows, because we don't have any proof, it just seems like it's too coordinated not to be at least in communication, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Basically, from the night we all met each other, we've been ricocheting between these three situations, and they all seem to, I don't know, I hesitate to say respond to each other, but they sure seem to be acting around each other, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. This might be
Yeah,
a little silly,
I
but
feel like, you know, the 3 points of a Venn diagram, I just can't quite figure out where the middle is.
Right. How do they overlap exactly yet?
right, like what is connecting all of these things? Hmm.
Feels like one of Amnesia's riddles at 5 o'clock in the morning before coffee.
It does, but I mean, at least Amnesia's riddles have answers.
There's
this
there's
is
an
so
answer
nebulous.
here, we just can't see it yet, that's all.
Yeah. Hmm. Well.
Okay. So you have your discussions. Or is there any actions that you're looking to take this evening as it slides away from the afternoon?
I think Nay would like to so Nay does not want to infringe on anybody's nodes, but if there's one that somebody'd be willing to let her use to meditate on, she could really use some centering.
Yeah, so Jezebel's been looking for a node in this area. Oddly enough,
Yeah,
this
like
chantry
it.
doesn't have its own source of a node or anything like that. This is just because it's not really like a full blown chantry. It's more of just a sanctum. But Jezzy has been on the search for that. Perhaps you guys could look for it together.
Yeah. I wanted to go. I wanted to do some meditating anyway, to be honest. I feel like it's been 8 million years since I talked to Polaris, and shit has gone down.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So how do you guys propose to do this between you three?
so let me see.
In fact, I will let you guys discuss that while I take a break. I need to go to the restroom.
Mm-hmm.
But we can pause and you guys can think about that, and I will be right back in, let's say, about 3-5 minutes.
Okay. Let's see.
Be back in a moment.
Okay.
Indeed, it is.
Tim,
Hi.
I was just using the resources, the player resources that you have so kindly built into the Roll20 platform for us.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome. Prime. Yes. If you're looking for nodes,
Yes.
is going to be important.
So that's what we were wondering, is if there is a way for us to combine life, prime, and spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if spirit would be useful, but
Correspondence.
Yeah.
with correspondence, with Charlie's correspondence, and his use of Cal as his eyes
Mm-hmm.
to go looking for nodes.
Okay.
Because Nay has 3 in life, in prime, and in spirit. And Jezzy's got, what did you say you had? Life and
I
prime?
have. Oh, let me look at my sheet. I have 3 in prime, 3 in mind, 2 in spirit, and 2 in life.
So it was the prime we were talking about using as a connection.
Right.
Between the 3 of us to do that.
Of course. Yes. So perception of quintessence and all that would just be like prime 1. Like if you're like, just like with spirit sight, being able to see that type of phenomenon. I think realistically, if you're working together to sense the space in the area with correspondence, I mean, all of you have at least 1 in that, looks like. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Letting Charlie, basically, you share enough of the core perceptual spheres that you could find a way to channel that through and do a search in the area for something that may be a wellspring or a node, or whatever you want to call it.
Source of quintessence.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have amnesia here to like just throw you tasks. So.
See, and it's potentially dangerous for us to go to the coffee shop right now. So.
Yeah, liquid haze is sometimes troubling. Okay.
Well, it's not so much liquid haze; it's that there are people looking for us that know that we have tended to frequent there in the past.
There's that. Okay. So, with this information, with this knowledge, how are you crafting this together? How would you propose to do it?
Well, I am imagining that I might be able to locate a drum here somewhere in this commune.
Yeah, we have drums.
Drum in a commune?
Yeah, who would have thought, right?
Right.
I think Babel probably has a drum in her room, in her
in her closet,
meditation room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she had an entire Reki sound bath set up for you.
She did. So yeah, probably I could ask to borrow a drum, and I was thinking of using that as our base to pull us together.
Yeah.
Each of you beating out a drum to get on, having.
Well, no. Nay was thinking of providing the heartbeat, drum beats.
There we go.
To sync the 3 of us up.
Okay.
I think our focus would have to be on Charlie and his connection to Cal.
Yeah, I think the thing to do there would be to call in Cal, draw a circle, and create a physical space for Charlie to be safe in while his mind is in Cal's mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so kind of a music / guided meditation exploration of the area.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, let's do it. You guys are
Okay.
ready and willing mages.
It's Boogie.
See if you can
Rolling.
locate a wellspring. And it's something that, Jezzy's been theorizing exists in this area just by the very nature of her sanctum out at Snake Tongue Point. I said it.
Look at you go.
All right.
I will say that this is this is Jezebel connecting everybody with mind. Inea providing spiritual support, everybody connected through Prime as well. And then Charlie's correspondence and connection to Cal functioning. So I would just have, this is a kind of off the cuff type of ritual. I would have each of you roll Arete. And this is a coincidental effect overall. So difficulty 6 for all of you.
Okay. No DP mod, right?
No DP mod. It's not a rote.
Cool. Okay. Oh.
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 Okay, well. What is this roll?
Woof. Gee whiz, bro.
All right, we need to practice this a little bit.
Yeah,
So let's spend the time and get our shit together collectively. Because it is clearly not yet.
Based on your efforts this evening, there's a lot of excitement between the three of you trying to utilize your skills together to come together as a true cabal. You proved that you could do this with Jennifer earlier in the day, but each of you has a different view on the world. Each of you is kind of talking past one another a little bit when you're trying to describe what you're trying to do, and you hit on some points. You kind of get there, and you're on a path that will work, but none of you at this point can quite work well enough with each other to pull this off.
We got some wrinkles to work
A few
out.
wrinkles to work out in the ritual. I will say that can absolutely attempt this again, but this evening's efforts certainly have fizzled out. And you're exhausted. It's the end of the day. You've had a very busy week. The sun has gone down. Cal is flown around all day, trying to help find this thing, and is just exhausted. Cal comes down and is like, Cal.
Can we be done now?
Poor pumpkin.
Thanks, buddy.
Cal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
you've been a good bird.
You have. Thank you.
Cal.
He's so cute.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull some jerky out of my pockets and feed him little pieces if he'll take them.
Oh, he'll eat anything.
That doesn't mean he'll
Yeah.
take them from me, though.
Oh, yeah, it's true. He gets a little too greedy, and he almost bites some of your fingers, but you're quick enough to...
I would like to keep my fingers pleased, Cal, but I appreciate all your help today. Has Jennifer returned yet?
Not yet.
That's starting to be worrisome.
Yeah. Because shouldn't she have been back by now?
Subliminal messages are hard to control.
True. Should we call her?
Considering as wiped out as we are, and in case she is in some way compromised, it might be better to send a text from the number that we spoofed.
Oh yeah. We could do that.
Just asking for, hey, looking for an ETA.
Yeah.
Something like that. You know, totally innocuous that might or might not be a wrong number.
Right.
Text.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay. So you're gonna send a text with the spoofed number?
Yep.
Yeah. It's just gonna say, what's your ETA?
Okay. You go ahead and send that text out.
Now, granted, if she's on the road driving, hopefully she won't respond and we'll just show up here.
Yeah.
Because
you don't text and drive, kids.
No.
Bad for you.
Do not try this at home.
No, not at all.
Don't do what I do. I don't text and drive.
Do as I say, not as I do.
I don't text and drive, but I do like listen to YouTube, and so it's there, and I'm listening. I'm not watching.
But that's like
it's still there.
To the radio.
It's radio with video, and so it's like every once in a while, I'm like, you can't help it sometimes.
Don't be looking. Don't be looking.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't lost nothing on that screen, sir.
But what if they're talking about something
podcast
important?
Would be better. Podcast. That's why we have podcasts.
Well, that's how I survived Critical Role, is through tons and tons of podcasts. Not an advertisement for Critical Role, but I will say I'm excited for next week with Midst. That looks amazing. All right. Well, the evening comes to a close. Each of you retires for the evening. No hearing back from Jennifer. But that doesn't necessarily say much one way or the other. And we are going to transition back over to Vesper. See what's going on with them. Let's see. Vesper, you, as a New World Order agent, have provided excellent intel and insight into some of the dealings with the Tomerds of Seattle. Currently, you find yourself resting in the New World Order's front at the Gray Construct, known as Near Water Organizers. They pretend that they provide activities and fun for coastal activities, like renting boats and yachts and basically Carnival cruise type stuff. Currently, you're in the office virtually. You are not there physically. You're using a virtual reality set that they've given all agents that work through your mirror shades. And your day's been pretty, standard, just going through some information, and it's boring for you who has got military experience, but it's at this point that you are called into the office of, let's say, Agent Adam. Ooh, don't do that. I almost deleted an entire scene. That would have been terrifying. Agent Adam pulls you in, and this agent looks almost identical to Agent Lewis.
Don't mind you literally changing the name.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Of course. So, Agent Adam sits behind his desk, and he's got 3 monitors in front of him, and he's actively monitoring all of them, very distracted when you enter the room in virtual body. They are physically in this location, but they have hollow projectors that alert him to your entry.
Okay, you need to see me or something?
Ah, Agent Watts, coming in. So, I've been reading your reports, and I think that you have shown yourself to be an exemplary initiate. We are fast tracking your program.
And what does this fast tracking entail?
Well, you will be assigned your own safe house in the greater Seattle area. We do not foresee this to be an issue, as you have maintained a very mutual existence as a initiate. But we find that oftentimes in this transition period, when you go from old life to new life, there could be some snags. So we will set up your safe house. You will be given authorization to blend in with the society as it is. Not all of our agents have to put on the front of the black suit. But remember, this transition will be the final cutoff. And we're going to give you some time, probably the next couple weeks here, to get all your affairs in order.
Okay. Yeah. If you could give me a specific time period at some point, just so I can schedule things, be great. But yeah, sounds good.
Okay. I will upload the timetable to your Vitas and expect to be on location tomorrow.
Okay. Anything else you need from me?
No, not at this time. Thank you, Agent. And they immediately ignore you.
And I'll just log off and take off the headset.
Okay. You're in your quarters in Construct Gray. Um, this is exciting news. This is conflicting news. How are you feeling about that?
Very nervous for one of just like, are they going to be able to fully cut everybody off? Um, Partially as well of like just expecting to have had more time to do it. Um, so that being kind of cut short is just kind of a lot of that going through of like this was all the stuff that I was still supposed to kind of be able to interact with them with that now I'm kind of being cut out of. Um, and then like how do you even really do that? I mean, like the been kind of told how to, but like being told and actually having to do it are two very different things.
Okay. So, the following day, you are brought before a Q Division agent that you know, Gadget. And she's like, "Good day to you, agent. Welcome to Q Division." Yeah. Okay, I'm just kidding. All right, so
You catch it.
I hear that you're getting your own safe house.
Yeah. Should be sending the information sometime soon.
Oh yeah, right here. And she motions and waves, and you see like virtual reality hard light construct in front of her. She's like, "Okay, so here's your apartment," and she rotates it. She's like, "So what key features are you specifically looking for?"
Probably just the ability to stay off grid for the most part.
Okay, so you definitely want some cloaking. Got it.
And then just plenty of space to plan things. To have fellow operatives over in order to like fully lay out a plan.
Okay, so full tactical and informational setup. Got it.
And then hidden storage for weapons and suits.
All right, weapon storage. Okay. Do you want that? No, I'm just going to make the decision for you. Yes, absolutely. You want that hidden. Okay, cool. What else do you want? Come on, man. We have a discretionary budget going on here. We get some prime utility. We could throw in surveillance. We can throw in turrets. We could lasers, man, lasers. You got to think about this sort of stuff.
Well, we could probably skip the surveillance, but we should probably put in a laser too by the door.
Okay.
And any other entry points.
Okay. Laser turrets. Excellent. I really love laser turrets. And unlike other members of the Technocracy, especially in the New World Order, Q Division allows a little bit of eccentricity. You can be weird if you're like making gadgets for people.
Yeah.
Getting your super spy on.
I guess always a little bit weird. But anyway, guys, anything else you'd recommend? I didn't get much chance to think about it. There's kind of just like hey, you're advancing now.
Well, hey, I'm glad. It couldn't happen to a better agent. Some of those. Never mind. But here we go. Standard issue. She hands you a Biggs X5 Model A protector. This is a Technocracy standard issue sidearm pistol. It is superior in almost any way to any 9mm type pistol, in that it does a bit more damage. It has a faster rate of fire, and the clip is about the same as a like a Glock or whatever. But the advantages it has is that It is also able to load more than just the standard 9mm ammo. Any ammo that you can requisition from the Technocracy, explosive rounds, or anything of that nature, this will also accept.
Sounds good.
And you've seen this weapon before, but this is
Mm-hmm.
they don't let you typically keep your own weapons. Usually you have to like check them out and re-give them. This is now officially your weapon. And she goes through the requisition process and she fills out the form on her digital space, and she's like, all right, I need your thumbprint here.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Give the thumbprint.
Okay, and I see you've also I mean, we've talked about this. You're specialist with the rifle. So we've got this special guy, and she pulls up, and it looks like a small, like it almost, it's a little bit bigger than a handgun, but it looks like it could still fit on your belt, and it could be hidden under a coat of some sort. It could be concealed with a jacket. But she shakes it, and this handled this weird. It's hard to describe. It's just like a. It looks like a smooth, round shape with like extra little bubbles and the like around it. Like the Mon Calamari cruisers in Star Wars, but way smaller.
Not
But
getting the same size for my sniper.
but she takes it and she pushes a button, and it immediately starts unfolding, and it becomes a assault rifle. And she's like, "This is the VX-29 assault rifle." And then she presses another button, and this is the VX-30 sniper rifle. And the barrel rotates out and grows, and the scope folds up from the side. And all of this, she presses the button again, folds back into one compact, easy to conceal weapon. Also capable of holding other rounds than what you would normally find in a gun.
So, I know I usually don't play around with the stuff you give me too much, but could I go to the shooting range with it real quick before we continue, or after, if there's too much more stuff to go through first?
I'm sure you'll definitely find time for the range. In fact, that's standard procedure. Before you go to the range, though, I also want to make sure that you have your time slide. And she basically pulls out a watch, and it's like, all right, this, as you know, goes on your wrist, and that helps you with any temporal effects that you need to use. And all of that is connected through your neural interface to your mirror shades. And I'm going to need your thumbprint here for that.
Fun.
I'm going to need your thumbprint for that.
Yep. There you go.
Okie dokie. This is so much fun. You're going to cause so much, you're not damage. You're going to fix so many things.
Productivity, you know?
Yeah. I mean, what's it like in the field? I mean, I get it. Like, we're here to help everyone, but like, is there like it gets, like, I love this stuff, but out there, is there like just a rush?
Depends. Sometimes there's a nice rush of like, oh, I'm doing something, really getting into it. Sometimes it's like, oh, here's a metallic bone, stare at it for a minute, you know? So, it can be boring, it can be exciting. Probably similar to when you're able to work on something and when you're sitting there waiting for somebody to request something.
Yeah, seems about right. Yeah, there's always excitement in the fun things, but yeah, we definitely have a mission, and the masses are not going to save themselves.
Yeah.
All right. Any other gear that you're looking to have? Anything in particular? You've got your suit, you got your glasses, you got your slide, and you got your weapons. Not sure what else a field agent like you is gonna need.
Well, if I'm gonna have to be blending in, I'll probably need a more casual outfit, if at all possible. But I can always just go to the mall real quick on my way there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Though, my fashion sense isn't fantastic.
yeah, I'm not really up on the fashions of the masses, but I'm sure you can find something at whatever facilities they have.
But
All right.
other than that, it should be good.
All right.
I know where you work, so
Yeah, get yourself off to the shooting range, and oh, she taps a few things, and on your heads-up display, if you're wearing your mirror shades, I don't know if you are or not.
Yeah.
The address for your safe house pops up.
perfect.
Excellent. Safe house should be ready by the end of this afternoon, and then you'll receive your orders to relocate. Make sure you clear out your. I've seen this happen before. Make sure you collect anything that you need in your quarters beforehand, because they will just throw it all away.
Yeah, that's gonna be the next stop after the shooting range.
Okay.
Those can happen whenever,
Excellent. All right, you go to the range. What are you doing at the range?
I'm gonna test out switching between the assault rifle version and then the full sniper version.
Okay.
Just to see how, like, whether it feels a little bit seamless or whether it's kind of like okay, if I want to switch, it's gonna take like my full focus to go through switch, and then also just to see how accurate it is and kind of play around with new big toy.
Yeah, you start getting yourself familiarized with the weapons. Let's have dexterity and firearms just to see how well you acclimate to this. The difficulty is going to be pretty high because this is a highly advanced weapon. So let's just say 8 is the difficulty. One success. Okay.
Well, I got 2 successes and then a 1, so subtract 1.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, it takes some getting used to. You definitely feel that you can switch between the different modes relatively quickly. It's the preparation going from one mode to the other that would take some finagling with. You feel that you could probably switch and be effective after about a 3-second wait. Just being patient. But 3 seconds can be a long time.
Yeah. Good to know. Then from there, go and pick up my stuff and be ready to ship out.
Okay.
Might swing by Newell after I've grabbed my stuff just to spread the news.
Okay. So you've managed to get everything in order. You swing by Nala's quarters. It's only been a day since you've been reassigned, but you're already starting to grow stubble on your face. And she immediately recognizes. She's like, "What is that?"
Yeah, it's getting up in the ranks. Get
What are you?
this back again?
Are you kidding me? They're letting you go solo.
Yeah, I know.
What's this world coming to?
I mean, you'll still need to cover my ass a lot, but
I absolutely will have to. They're getting desperate, aren't they?
yeah, they've got to be. It's not looking great out there, I guess. Given the whole space, I have lasers at the apartment, so
I mean, if you were one of one of those tradition people. You could use it for like a party or something, right?
Very deadly party.
Okay.
Yeah, you know how Gadget is. They very much insisted that lasers should be a priority, but
She's fun with the lasers. I've enjoyed some of her more elaborate plans. There's one time we were fighting some hemophage entities, and absolutely was able to stun those fuckers with a laser bomb that she invented. It saved our lives. It was amazing.
yeah, she's very good at what she does.
She is. All right. Well, Operative, it was a pleasure serving with you.
Thank you. It's been great working with you, and you will absolutely see me again.
Absolutely. The city is a cesspool.
Yeah.
You gotta clean it up. And she goes to shake your hand.
Yeah, I'll just shake it and then start getting ready to walk out.
All right. Be safe.
I'll try.
So following this, you get to your new safe house. And how do you envision it being internally?
I'd probably be just like there are 3 rooms. One would be like a bedroom. One would be kind of the would look like an office, but would be like the actual planning room. And then like a kitchen and living room that are kind of combined. Because it's probably middle Seattle is not going to be like getting the 2 rooms was probably majority of the budget compared to the lasers.
Yeah, no, they definitely spent on this, but yeah, you've got a relatively cramped space overall. It's not luxurious, but it is functional.
Yeah, I think that's also what they would prefer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just have it a little bit more tight space. Then all of a sudden I'm going from the communal to just like a full house or something. Yeah, I think when they walk in, the first thing they're looking for is where the lasers are. Just of like, I trust they would put it all in correctly, but like just in case, got to keep my guard up for it.
Indeed. Okay, so yeah, so you take some time to learn the layout of the space, kind of the nuances. You play around with the hidden weapons locker, and you definitely have the kit for surveillance and observation in your computer setup. So everything's there. The kitchen is serviceable. They definitely have stocked the fridge with some acceptable supplements, and everything is weighed out and tailored exactly to what your nutritional needs are.
And then once I'm familiar, I'm probably gonna have to go and get clothes because I would have thrown out most of them because it just probably wasn't much storage, either thrown out or sent back home.
Yeah, there's definitely there's definitely a closet, not terribly large, but you've got your black suit there, but you also easily enough you went and shopped and you got a few different bits of clothing here. At this point, as this is a transition in your life, we are going to do your tarot. So, go ahead. If you right click on any of the cards, you can flip them. If you pick the one on the far left, go ahead and flip that card for us. Okay. The King of Pattern. King of Pattern is a very appropriate card here, I think. Its association is definitely with the New World Order. This is the card that's kind of revealing your past, the things that have, you've experienced. The reversed, this represents speculation and waste and perversity and misuse. I would say prior to joining the New World Order, there was definitely a sloppier world around you, and possibly the introduction to the New World Order helped clean some of that up. Go ahead and flip your second card. This is the present. Nine of Primordialism. Okay. So this is the present. This is attainment, success, health, opportunity. So that seems to be definitely in line with where you are presently. Let's go ahead and take a look at your general, like, future prospects. That's the top card. The King of Dynamism. This is wisdom, judgment, focus, concentration, determination. This is a picture of a mage dwelling in a happier time. The times of yore, the ones that the traditions tend to romanticize. But crowned by the roses of his desires. So this indicates that you definitely are on the path to what you would consider to be wisdom and potential contentment through determination. Let's go with the next card. This is the core reason for your circumstances. Luna. This has a heavy association with the Theranthrope entities, what others might call werewolves. This also is about reflection and enigmas and the revelation of true nature, inner intuition, which is absolutely in line with where you've at. You've been using your intuition and your knowledge to help investigate these strange occurrences. And even your initiation into the New World Order started with a situation with the werewolves. So that also surprisingly works really well. I'm loving this read so much. All right, let's go with the last one. This is the specific futures, things that you might be able to avoid or lean into. The Emperor reversed. This has an association with the Order of Hermes from the traditions. Reversed, this represents tyranny, bondage, immaturity. So, something that you must beware of going into the future is the potential for tyranny, the potential to fall into that. All right. And as you've gotten more accustomed to your safe house, you are essentially a agent in waiting. You are in, basically you're on call, and when you're needed, you'll be needed. But you also have been afforded this time to put your affairs in order. And you've been able to kind of regrow the beard, regrow your hair. You are looking more like your past self. Basically, what you were when you were in the standard Green Berets. Your brother, Jonah, has called you up and said, "Hey, how's it going?"
Um, you know, usual. It's did some stuff, getting some advancements and things, but it's always trouble with everything.
Life in the big city, huh?
Yeah. It's yeah, it's a lot. But
Hey, I mean, we're proud of you, bro. Um, Ma and Dad, we were going to come out to see you in Seattle. Um, sometime later, like maybe sometime next week, we were going to go to the Winterfest. And
yeah, that'd be good. I have my own place so you guys can come over for a little bit there as well. Um, yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, that'd be great.
all right, yeah. I mean, so yeah, we'll yeah, we're gonna go there. We're gonna go hang out and maybe do some ice skating, watch the lights. There's the always popular, train. I love the train village. I want to see what they do with it this year. Last year was really cool.
Yeah, it should be. I always hear it's really good. Um, and yeah, last year was pretty fun. It's always fun to see mom and dad try to ice skate.
Yeah, I don't think Dad really has the hamstrings strength to keep his legs straight, but he'll complain about it, but he smiles all the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, big bro, I will see you in a couple days. I'm excited. It's yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, let me know when you guys head over and when you guys where you guys are staying and stuff like that.
I will probably just drive out. It's only like 30 minutes, 40 minutes out. As long as we do it when there's not any traffic, we'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll see you guys then.
Excellent. A few days later, you and your parents are attending the Seattle Center Winterfest. Oops, don't need these people. Those people don't exist. You don't know who they are. The four of you move around. There's the lights strung into the trees. There's the ice skating rink, and there's a sculptor with a chainsaw just making beautiful creations out of giant ice blocks. What are you and your family doing here at the Winterfest?
Probably the first thing we do would be try and go ice skating. Because it's always the thing that it's not like a get out of the way, but it's like we do it now and then we can kind of leave whenever. It's kind of the one thing that we'd always try and do.
Okay. All right. So, what time in the day do you imagine this happening?
They probably would have gone fairly early to avoid traffic. So like 10, 11-ish.
Okay.
Is probably when we would have gotten around to actually getting to it.
Okay. So you get around, and the previous ice sculpture from the day before is still there. It's starting to melt. It's looking kind of round on all the edges, and it looks like they're trying to move in another ice block. as you walk past and get into the rink. You get your blades, you get your skates, and you enjoy probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours of laughter and joy with your mother and father and younger brother, as you kind of reminisce and enjoy the ice. Is there anything in particular that you would like to do here?
Other than try and do some tricks that I definitely don't know how to do, not particularly.
Okay. Let's see. If you're doing this, let's go ahead and roll a dexterity and athletics.
Okay.
Difficulty 6. Oh my gosh. Look at that. 5 successes. You don't even, like, you try it and, you've never done it before, so your beginner's luck goes right into effect, and you do an amazing pirouette. Some people look around and they some of them just clap as you stick the landing. And your brother's like, "What the? I did not know you could do that. That is so amazing, man."
I didn't know I could do it either.
Really? You've never done that before?
No, just kind of, you see it a lot. It's just kind of like, I could probably do it. But I was,
who thinks you could just probably do that? That was almost like, I mean,
too much time.
It wasn't a triple axle or anything, but geez, still. I'm impressed. They must be teaching you some really good things there in this new unit of yours.
Yeah. Ice skating is usually the one that comes up all the time, I promise.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you're I know you can't talk about it, but I mean, that's pretty impressive. I'm getting hungry. You wanna go get some food? I mean, I'm getting tired.
Yeah, we can go. Let's go eat something.
Cool. Your family, you end up heading out of the ice rink, and the melting sculpture has been removed from the stage, and the new block of ice is pristine, sitting there as the sculptor sits back and he just kind of sketches a little bit as he's looking at the ice, his eyes squinting every once in a while. And he hasn't quite brought out the chainsaw yet, but it's coming soon. At this point, we're probably hitting about noon, 1 o'clock. You head towards the armory, and when you get in there, one of the first things that hits you is the smell. Just a cacophony of yummy treats, savory and sweet. You've got some chocolate in the air, coffee certainly, and just meat and dough. There's a pot pie place nearby. What are you and your family enjoying this Winterfest?
I'm probably just getting the first thing that I saw on the menu that has chocolate on it.
Okay, cool. And as you're heading out there, you get stopped by this couple. Late 20s, a very attractive red-haired woman and a decent-looking fella, but they stop you for a moment and they hold out some pamphlets to you. They're like, "Sir, we see that you and your family are enjoying this Winterfest. However, we do want to, help you guide your souls to a better way." And they hold out and hand out a pamphlet that looks like it is basically an advertisement for their church.
Vesper probably just takes it because they don't know how to really reject anything. So just gonna kind of take it and be like, "Okay, thank you. I'll read this later. Just gonna go eat."
Okay, please read over that, and you're welcome to our church anytime, brother. Bye. Okay. I mean, he looked like he was hungry. Okay, that's fine. Not everybody's gonna be. All right. So you go and you get your food. You sit down with your family, and what do you want to talk to them about? This might be for you like the last time that you spend any time with them.
Probably just sit there very clearly contemplating something. I think because I still haven't really figured out how to say anything. Just kind of like, this has been really fun so far, and we'll have, I'm sure it'll be fun doing the rest of the day as well. But just because I feel like I don't say it a lot of the time, I do love you guys a lot.
Oh.
Just want to make sure you guys know that.
Your mom looks really taken aback by this. She's like, Vesper, I mean, we love you too.
Thank you. Then we can talk about it later. Yeah, it's just me for now.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. And you're going to be out for. I mean, are you going to be at the house this Christmas?
That might be a little bit difficult. Work is just going to be taking a lot more of my time. So I'll see what I can do, but it's going to be less likely.
Well,
at least this year.
Well, we'll keep the stocking up for you. I'm sure Santa will fill it for you.
Yeah.
And she gives you a hug, and she's like, "Come on, let's." Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Your dad's like, we could go take a look at the train.
Yeah, let's go to the trains.
And you spend your afternoon with your family, just absorbing the good vibes. As the day progresses and the sun starts setting, give me a perception and awareness check.
What's the difficulty? Just 6?
Difficulty will be 6, yes.
0.
0. Okay. Well,
1 I said. Perfect.
actually, 1. Because you rolled a 10.
Is the 10 not weigh a 1?
10.
Yeah, but I also rolled a 1.
Yeah, so the 10 counts as 2.
Okay. Oh, because it's only -1. Yeah.
So. You feel a wave of nausea roll through, and you feel sick all of a sudden. And then you hear almost like an explosion as something outside the armory to the south hits the ground with a thud.
I'm going to immediately turn to my family and be like, hey, we should meet up back at my new apartment. Here's the address. You guys should go real quick. I have to go.
Vesper, what are you doing? Like, that's not your job.
I forgot that I thought I was gonna go meet with somebody over by the armory. I have to just go talk with them real quick, and then I'll follow you guys there.
Well, okay. We'll see you later. I mean, be safe.
I will.
All right. Jonah looks at you. He's like, "What's going on?" Whatever. And he gathers your parents and shuffles them away. You exit the armory, and when you eventually get to it, you see on a knoll that there are body parts of some giant glowing eyeball with feathers and wings, and then there a group of people fighting each other. And go ahead and give me a perception and alertness check. Yeah, 3 successes. Excellent. You see the fight continuing, and you see a woman that you immediately recognize as from your previous fight, or from your previous investigations, as she stabs another woman that's screaming at her. You see a man, like you've seen in your investigations before, put on a crow mask, a big headdress with a beak, and shoot at a person on the top of the hill. You see that person get surrounded by crows, and you see Spider-Man, of all things, flying in the air, kicking and punching these people, swinging from the trees. And you see another woman, also from your investigations, also fighting back against these creatures, as they have all transformed and turned into some strange hybrids. Are these like were-owls? You're not sure, but you definitely know that this is a RDI in the making. And before you get a chance to actually act, some of the were-owls run away. Another one disappears into another dimension, as far as you can tell. And the 3 emerge that you have investigated for the past month seemingly draw a door on the ground, open it, and disappear.
Well, shit. I just that's just kind of like that reaction is like pull up the phone and just be like, hey guys, so RDI down the armory, anybody to come and clear it up? I have other things I need to go attend to. I'm still here for the quick report, but I'll make it the full report at a later time.
Okay. You stick around for a moment, but then the cleanup crew does arrive. And there are 4 dead bodies that they handle. There is the remains of what looks to be, at least the agents there initially described, as a PEE, as a paradox effect entity. And the agent, who looks a lot like Agent Adam and Agent Lewis. You're not quite sure who this one is, but you think it's one of the letters. And they take your statement. They encourage you to go to the Gray Construct and be debriefed the following day. And they recognize that you are, special forces, as far as that, like, you're solo force. You're not like part of the cleanup crew. So they don't issue any orders or expect anything out of you. What do you do?
At that point, I try to rush back to the safe house because I assume they've been waiting for a minute.
You get back home, to your safe house, and your family's there. And they're like, what was all that commotion about? Everybody was running up. Was there a fire or something?
Yeah, a fire broke out over there. Nobody got hurt or anything. Everything's fine.
You're okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
The person I was went to meet was fine as well. Yeah, fortunately it wasn't very big or anything, but it's just, seeing a fire spring out of nowhere, people tend to panic right away.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you're okay. Let's you know what? Since you're not going to be at home for Christmas, Mom and Dad and I, we pitched in and we got you something. We brought it for you. And they, before they leave, they're like, we're gonna get out. It's getting late. We're gonna go home, but we want to make sure that we got this to you. And they hand you a present, and you open it. What is the present that you want the most as Vesper?
It would probably be a framed photo of the four of them at some point from that year.
Okay. It's not that. It's not what you wanted exactly. But what you do open is one of those really specialized holographic cubes with the family photo hovering inside.
Thanks, guys. It means a lot.
We just thought it would be really nice for you to have something here. If we're not, if you're not gonna be visiting often, sometimes it's good to have a little bit of home with you.
Yeah, that'll be good. Thank you.
All right. Well, Ves, we love you. We'll see you next time. Hopefully before the new year. But I know you're busy.
Yeah. Love you guys. I'll probably call sometime this week.
Okay. All right. Have a good night. And they give the hugs and kisses all around. Your mom is, she's handling things well. I mean, there's been some difficulties out on the farm, but things aren't terrible. And you're apparently doing really well. You've got this nice tiny little apartment. And they head home. And at this point, we're going to transition to the next day at the Vashon Island commune. Okay. Night Hunters. It is now the morning. Aunt Mabel has made some chocolate chip pancakes, Jezzy's favorite. You think I forgot, huh?
No.
I'll be honest, the way that you described that whole scene to
Vesper?
yeah, to
Whim.
Vesper. Totally. I started to say whim and then blew my brain. Yeah. Anyway, it just brought home how absolutely insane that entire scene was.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It just must have looked crazy.
Like something out of a really bad trip.
Right. You've got a giant be not afraid ass computer angel thing.
Yeah.
And then we walk into the ground and disappear.
It
It's
disappeared,
crazy.
like,
Well,
what?
and
Leaving
Spider-Man.
dead bodies
And Spider-Man.
around. And Spider-Man.
And Spider-Man.
That's where I really started to laugh, was Spider-Man.
Yes.
I was really
Spider-Man
about it.
of all things.
stuff. Like, oh, this is okay. This is probably like usual stuff. It's like, and Spider-Man is there. Okay, great.
And you think he was kidding, but the dude was actually wearing a Spider-Man costume and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, there legit was a Spider-Man doing the flips and all.
Yep.
Fantastic.
See, this is
Web slinging and everything.
hey, you know, man. If you've got the ability, I would do it.
Mm-hmm.
As you complete your breakfast, there is a UPS truck that is coming to the compound. Looks like there's a delivery. This delivery specifically says to the care of Inea Blackwell, Charlie Newell, and Jezebel Spinner. And it is a small little box.
Oh no. Okay. We should open it.
I mean, is it big enough to contain Gwyneth Paltrow's head?
No.
Okay. I have to ask this about any box that comes to me via UPS
No, that's fair.
or
That's
FedEx
fair.
or whatever.
What's in the box?
I hate that even more because that's exactly what I was thinking.
It's unavoidable.
Uh-huh.
In a post-7 world, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there are a small handful of people who know we're here who might feel the need to send us something. And it could be completely innocuous.
Yeah, and I definitely believe in coincidences.
Right. Because Jennifer's still not here.
I don't like this at all, but, oh god. Okay.
I've never had a box make me so paranoid in my
I
life.
know.
swear to
I
God.
am going to pull a pocket knife. It's a Swiss Army knife type thing, and cut the tape.
Okay. You cut it, and then nothing happens. Yeah. No gas,
Okay.
no ticking, no vibration.
Well,
Okay,
one
so-
hopes not.
So I am less inclined to chuck it across the the street or whatever. And I just very carefully lift the flaps because I really don't know that I want to know what's in this box.
Okay. You care.
It's a finger. I'm calling it. It's a finger.
I'm gonna. Okay. All right.
You want a toe? I can get you a toe.
I don't want any body parts. God damn it.
You
Okay.
you open the box very carefully, and you look inside, and you pull out a cell phone.
Is it one that we recognize,
That
or is
is-
it a burner?
It is a normal cell phone. It's not a burner.
Is it Jennifer's cell phone?
You click the button to illuminate the screen, and the lock screen pops up, and it is Jennifer. It is a picture of her. And it's also a picture of Ned standing in front of her as she's tied up to a chair, and him giving a big old grin and a thumbs up.
Yep. Thought so.
Mhm.
Okay.
Hmm. Why spring for UPS? You know?
I mean, is this Harry Potter
Nope.
world? Would you have it delivered by owl?
No,
I mean, he is an
nobody-
owl.
There.
Nobody ever accused him of having more than 2 brain cells to rub together.
That's true.
The phone's not password protected or anything like that. It's easy enough to slide open. And cursory investigation, you find that there is a album of pictures of him standing in front of, all very self-satisfactory. As each picture progresses, you see Jennifer more and more beaten and bloodied. And clearly, there's about a sequence of like 24 pictures that get progressively worse. With the very last one of him just middle finger.
He's a peach.
He's also giving us evidence to take to the police.
That's what I was thinking. Like,
Problem is, how many cops has he bought off, and how far would it get?
mm-hmm. There was a whole bunch of them in the home guard.
Cleanup at and after the cleanup at the Winterfest, like, you know, the stuff that we saw
Yeah.
on the news, like, I don't know, I really don't know who to trust in this, or whose side who's on, or not even just who to trust, but like who's against who.
Yeah.
I hate to do this, but he's the only one we know. I almost think it's time to go to Mark with this. Because Malcolm might be able to get somewhere with it, even. But Mark is our contact with Malcolm. Either Mark or Frosty. Although Frosty's already left, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna send Mark a text just a message saying, "Hey, need to talk to you ASAP." I think it would be. I don't know. We'll decide. You know, if he calls me, he calls me. If he comes here, if he has the time to come here, then that would be better.
That would be
see what
ideal, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't take too long, but you do get a text response, basically. Just kind of a thumbs up, like, from Mark. Like, okay. Just acknowledging that he received the text. And that he's working on trying to get back to you.
Yeah. He's a busy guy. He's got a lot of shit going on.
Yeah,
I get it.
Exactly.
And we've caused about half of it. Or been
Yeah.
party to half of it. Anyway, not necessarily caused it, but...
We've caused a bunch of it. We don't know what else he's got going on. I don't like that that he knows where we're at. He knows our names. There's a lot of information here. There's just a lot of information here.
Yeah. It makes me curious how he found out in the first.
Well, can we gather any information from the phone? I mean, besides what we can... Well, maybe even from what we can visually see.
Yeah. If you're going through the photos, perception and investigation.
Okay.
Oh, why do I always have such a hard time finding these? There they are. Difficulty?
6.
I have
7.
5? Oh, 6. I have 6.
Oh, Charlie got 7. Jesse got
Nice.
3. And yeah, and then there's 6 for Ned. Wow. All of you are combing through these horrific photos. This is like watching a snuff film, but really slowly.
We are motivated though.
You are motivated for
Mhm.
And
sure.
we're like freshly awake and just like ready to do this.
Yeah.
And now we're pissed, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motivation. In the background, you definitely see pool table and kind of a brick wall and like some basic like neon Bud Light signs, that type of thing. There's a big sign that says "Shut up and drink," written in white on like a blackboard. Lots of grungy, like bumper stickers and like not necessarily bumper stickers, but like advertisement stickers and all that, all kind of plastering the wall. And she's kind of center tied to a chair as this abuse has gone, and it's mostly, like I said, just selfies that Ned is taking of himself as he beats her.
Is there anybody else, like indications of anybody else in any of the photos? Like, even if it's just an arm or a hand sticking into the frame?
You get a sense based on like the different movements of the camera and all that there is somebody else there, but never in frame. It's always just her and Ned.
I assume that at least in some of the photos she's conscious. Is she looking anywhere but at Ned, or does she seem focused on him?
She seems at first resolved and resolute, and she seems to like stare daggers at Ned, but as the photos progress, there is less and less of that resolve and more defeat, more wariness as the beatings get rougher and rougher.
So we can be pretty sure that anything that Jennifer knows about us, he knows now, which is probably how he got this thing
Yeah.
sent to us. In some ways, it's somewhat fortunate she didn't know a whole hell of a lot,
Yeah.
but she did know that we were looking into them. That's why she was there to begin with. So, not that that'll be a surprise to anybody.
Based on the roles that you did have, you did notice that they were not, I would say, they took these pictures on a cell phone, so it gives the location of the picture, and it is definitely Calhoun's Bar and Grill.
Yeah, he's not terribly intelligent.
No, he's very good at shitting where he.
Yeah. Is anything else that you were looking for? Because you guys rolled really well. I can almost anything that you ask, I will have to give you an answer for.
I can't think of anything else. No.
Are there any other pictures on the phone besides that album?
Yes.
Any other recent pictures?
So yes, the previous to this role is pictures of Jennifer and the gentleman that you saw at Winterfest with her in like a lot of very happy candid shots of the two of them, enjoying each other's company.
Okay.
So like date pictures particularly, that sort of thing.
What about recent
Sorry?
recent text messages?
Text messages. You see the text that you sent last night. Some other miscellaneous things. You see some text between Jennifer and Mabel. And it looks like she was reporting back to Mabel about what was going on here in the bar and with Pip, and getting encouragement to, even when Jennifer expressed doubt and fright, Mabel would push her with encouragement and tell her that this is the way, this is how things must go. This is what she is foreseeing.
Next up, Mabel.
Yeah, because that's shitty.
Mabel knows something that she's not telling us or hasn't been telling us. And she's got her reasons, I gotta assume. But now's
Or
the time.
maybe those messages aren't real.
It's possible, but I mean, that it seems like that would be a really dumb thing to try and fake. If you're
Yeah.
gonna send them to us and we're sitting literally in Mabel's house.
Oh, I don't mean faking them for our benefit.
Oh, you mean for Jennifer. Faking
Right.
them to Jennifer.
Hmm.
I don't know. Let's go find out.
Let's go find out. Yep.
You head back to Mabel's house into the kitchen, and she is sitting there in her kitchen chair she has by the counter, looking expectantly.
So, what's up?
What do you mean?
I'm gonna pull up the last picture of Jennifer on that phone and set it down on the counter beside Mabel.
She looks at it. It is as much a
So what's
blessing
this
as a
about?
curse, knowing when someone is going to be harmed for the greater good.
Is she still alive?
she is. It's not written in stone. Time doesn't work like that.
But there's still a chance.
There is. Always. Always hope.
That's great. This greater good. Sacrifice for the greater good. That's bullshit.
Did she know that she was going to be harmed and put in danger like this? Like, did you let her know that and get her consent before we sent her into there with the wolves?
She knew it was dangerous. She knew there was risk. She accepted that.
Okay, but did she know that you knew
Right.
this was going to happen?
She trusts that I know both the good and the bad of the outcome.
So no. No, you didn't tell her.
I told her it was
'Cause
dangerous.
I'm also noticing
I
you
gave her the
didn't tell
option
us.
to help or not. And that it could be her life that she's putting on the line. She is aware of the danger. I was hoping that this could have been avoided. But I also knew that it had to happen.
For what? And you can't say the greater good because she could die. She could easily die. She's not a lamb to slaughter. This is not a sacrifice. Her last name isn't Christ. There has to be a better way to do this. Especially given that, like, oh, she knew it was dangerous. You didn't tell her she would be getting her ass whooped by a bunch of Nazis. That's not what happened. You didn't communicate that to her or us. And I'm sorry, that's not cool.
I didn't. And I don't think I actually have to.
Sure, no, because it's not your life that's on the line.
No?
It's my friend's life that's on the line.
She's
So of course you don't have to say anything. It has nothing to do with you. That's great. Thanks, Amy.
she's like a child to me, as you are. And we all have our parts to play in this tapestry of our world. The option was to not have any insight into your enemies and into what could actually help save this world, or not have that knowledge.
You
And
greatly underestimate Nay. I'm sorry. We could have found that information away.
There
We
were
didn't have
other
to
ways.
put Jennifer's ass on.
There was no reason
We didn't
anybody
have to
had to
do
bleed
that.
for that. Nobody needed to bleed for that.
The internet is vast, Aunt Mabel. It's vast, and Ned is a fucking idiot. We could have figured it out. You didn't have to put her in danger like that.
She was.
And to
okay,
say she had an option is just not okay. Not
Mhm.
okay.
Did she feel like she had an option?
yes,
Yeah, I need to talk with her to know that for sure at this point, because the communication's been a little lacking.
I can't believe you. Like, I
Send-
cannot believe.
Sending her in might have been easiest, but she was not the only way to get that information.
should I have sent Thomas?
You shouldn't have sent anyone.
Not if you knew they were going to shed blood. That
There had to have been enough. And it's easy, fine. You didn't have to but you could have. You could have, and we could have stopped some of this, if not all of this. Sure, we would have had to go around our ass to get to our elbow, but I mean, at least she would be here and safe and not in the hands of a bunch of psychopaths that we have no control over. They know our names. They know where we live.
Nae's going out the front door, and she's just going for a walk.
I cannot believe this. I cannot believe you. I'm going home. I'm going to my aunt and my uncle. I'm going home.
I understand.
Can't believe this.
I apologize for the deceptions, but not for the actions.
The deceptions were the actions. That's a long way of saying you're not sorry.
Like I said, blessing and curse. This is not the... Nothing I'm going to say at this point is going to alleviate your pain.
As long as you know.
I am pained too. I did not want this for Jennifer. But I certainly hope for the best. Optimism is still what I believe in.
Yeah, Jezzy's gonna take a walk.
Thoughts
I'm
and
gonna take a
prayers.
walk. Right, thoughts and prayers, huh?
Well,
Yeah, Jesse's gonna
thoughts and
power
prayers
walk.
with
Ooh,
prophecy,
boy.
but yeah, okay.
Ooh, power walking, baby. We going places. Oh boy.
Nay was gonna say things she didn't really want to actually say. Woo!
I'm so disappointed in her. How could she? I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna go to Snake Tongue Point and I'm gonna yell until my vocal cords bleed. Cause what the fuck even?
Oh man.
So you're heading to
You know,
Snake Town.
there was a little part of me that was with you until that last statement. Charlie just shakes his head and walks out the door.
Oh.
Mabel
boy.
just kind of she watches, and as everything unfolds, she sighs.
Mabel's got the opposite of the Cassandra problem. If she just said something, we probably would have believed her. But she didn't fucking say anything.
It's tough, because I mean,
Yeah.
part of me, I get where she's coming from, but like, that's not, you can't just leave people in the dark.
No.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
Ooh.
sacrifices sometimes need to be made, but I don't know that this one did.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
It's hard to say.
I don't know that we gained anything from it. It's just it's just been losses so far.
Yeah.
Well, not so much losses, the occasional loss, but
No, they know where we are and who we are. That's losses.
okay, so that's a big loss. But I meant up to this point, before this, it'd been either draws, the occasional like minor loss. It hadn't really been this, and we even had a couple wins, which is what pissed them off to begin with. But at this
But what have we
today-
gained from Jennifer going there?
Right.
That's
That's
it.
what I was just trying to think of. I'm not sure that she was ever able to report back to us anything that we didn't either already know or couldn't have come up with / didn't come up with in some other way and then wind up just corroborating. I'm not sure we got anything from Jennifer's presence there that we didn't have access to in some other way.
I'm gonna just say that we didn't, and that now my homie is getting her teeth kicked down her throat for no good reason. No good reason. None.
Yeah, I don't think that Nay is going to be able to see that in any other way, because in Nay's mind, you know, we're a community and we're pulling together, and that is greater good. This doesn't feel like pulling together. This feels like led around by the nose.
Yes, it's giving manipulation. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Especially those nefarious ass text messages. Oh, I'm pushing you with encouragement. No.
Uh-huh.
No.
I'm
You're the
encouraging you.
carrot instead of the
Didn't
stick.
Jezzy hear those same kind of words at the very beginning of her story too?
Yes,
Actually,
I
yeah,
did,
kind of.
Actually. Yeah,
That's
I
why my
did.
hand just went up a second ago. Wasn't she the one that started this whole fucking journey in the first place for you?
You
For
need to get
Jesse?
out of the house.
Yes.
You need to get away from
Yes.
the library and get my ass beat by a lady with claws.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. You're fucking right.
The Ascension War has many players. As
Oh my god.
so, you are heading out to Snake Tongue Point. How are you traversing? Are you like hopping on a four-wheeler,
stomping.
or
I am stomping my happy ass up that path.
okay.
I'm going to make as much racket and shake as many trees as possible and punch the air a couple times because it's not polite to put your hands on people.
Charlie, where are you heading? You've walked out as well.
At the moment, I'm going back to where I was sleeping.
Mm.
I'm just gonna go and sit down on my bed and just think about this whole situation.
Okay. And Inea, where are you going?
Nay is looking for somewhere away from all the buildings and everything, preferably some trees, where she can sit down and call on Moro.
Okay.
Because she is otherwise going to do violence that really cannot be taken back.
Okay. Before you
It's interesting to me because, like, Charlie's very confused about the situation and seems like there's a whole lot more going on than what he thought was going on, and it seems like Jesse and Nay are just pissed.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a
so I imagine there's some of that too, but from Charlie's perspective, he's like, okay, they're pissed off. I see what's going on, but I don't know because there's too much going on.
as you approach the front gates, a black SUV drives up, and from the back passenger seat, a very, like, you are surprised how attractive this person is. Steps out of the vehicle. And Vesper, describe how you look to Inea as you get out of the car.
I apologize in advance for the impression he's about to get of Inea. Oh my god.
Well, describe what you look like to Inea.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
so-
Vesper.
Brown hair with a beard. The left eye is blue, the right eye is yellow. Is gonna be just fully in a full black suit. And then very attractive, as like you'd say like a 4 out of 5 on the appearance attributes.
Yeah.
Uh,
He's like if John Krasinski and Ben Affleck and Scarlett Johansson had a baby.
Huh?
Oh boy.
He gets out of the vehicle, and the vehicle drives off. And we're gonna leave it there for next week.
Come on, man! Come on! Man, I was ready to rage! Let's go!
I understand, but it's also 10:30.
So
I
you
mean,
remember
fair!
you remember what we said about Tim is not that cruel yet?
Yet? See? Do you see? Okay.
I mean, I'm
As
not
long as
angry.
we're clear.
I'm just guided.
That's why I apologize in advance for what is about to happen to Vesper. Because
Yeah.
Poor Vesper, like you just walked into a time bomb.
feel like it'd be like, hey, can I ask you some questions? Get it socked in the face. Like, okay.
You are in
My
a
bad.
no, I do not have time for you. Fuck off.
Look, I have choices to make with NPCs, and it just...
I mean,
They have lives. They make decisions.
yep. And you know what? I totally reason. So everybody is the hero in their own story. Mabel had her reasons. Nay disagrees 1,000%.
Like, all the fucking way. Because after a point, I was like, look, I know this is a game, but one must know all the players to know how to win. And Aunt Mabel is looking like she's been dealt in, goddammit.
Yeah.
Stressing me.
Yeah,
Stressing me.
Yeah, and that's the thing is Charlie's starting to wonder like how long she's been playing this game.
Right. Who's been playing Puppet Master?
Yep. Oh, hey, yeah, that's approximately Nay's expression as you get out of the vehicle.
Looking at it now, Jesse. Fine. What you doing?
Hey. Yeah.
Give me an excuse.
Right. Like, I beg you to give me a reason.
I really hope I don't, but I feel like I feel like it's not in the cards.
I mean, we already seen
Literally.
the cards.
Right.
Yeah, it's in like wealth, healthy, wisdom. Not about to get my ass kicked as soon as I step out of the car.
Possibly.
And your ride has already driven off.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you got
That's
dropped off.
what I was worried about.
Oh no, it was just him.
Like this is not in your favor right now.
Well, I hope you guys had a good time.
Yes.
Hell yes.
Oh yeah.
Hell yes.
Definitely trying to weave a few different narratives here for you, but
Yeah.
You're doing awesome.
Oh,
Gee
yeah.
whiz, man.
Yeah, catching him up to where we are now. I am so sorry, Wim. You have been dropped into the deep end after all.
Oof. Oof. One hopes you can tread water, boo. You got this.
I think we'll be okay. But is there anything from you guys before we head off? Any notes that you need, or anything that I need to consider for next week?
Aunt Mabel can consider that she finna get a mouthful. Okay.
Okay.
She already got
There's
a
a-
partial.
There's a note, mouthful from Alix, or from Jezzy.
Yep.
I love the typing. That's taking me out.
Oh, God.
This was a lot of fun. I'm so glad we're back.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah,
notes
yeah,
from
yeah.
anyone else? Or anything else that you want to consider for next week?
Nay is going to be kind of in desperate need of a talk with Moro.
Mhm.
She's looking for some talk me the fuck down, or I'm going to do something irreparable.
Yeah.
And the thing is that Moro might not actually talk her down.
No, maybe not. And Billie, anything that you're looking at for Charlie?
Not at the moment because Charlie's not sure what the hell all this means.
Yeah.
So it's very much yeah, I'm not really sure. I think the next step would be to go out and connect to the network and just see what Charlie can feel when he feels.
Yeah.
Because there's just too much.
Another thing that Nay would like is to actually have a meeting with Malcolm.
Okie dokie. And Wim, anything?
Yeah, and we already reached out to Mark, so
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
on the agenda.
And Wim, anything on your wanting to do? I know you're kind of just
I
being
guess
like
this.
early on. Go ahead. Sorry.
I guess there's any other intel that they would know going in terms of probably wouldn't be able to read Inea as they walk up, which is gonna be so. Unless there's any other intel, that would be like, hey, these people behave like this. This is how you deal with people like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably just gonna come up and try to talk to them, even though they're probably very clearly pissed off.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and yeah, absolutely. Let me just double check here.
Yeah, I can't see the Technocracy sending him in completely blind.
Oh shit! Yeah,
Yeah, this is
you are from the Technocracy.
oh yeah, none of
That's
that have
gravy.
any like anything like an earpiece connected to someone.
oh yeah, you've got the data
Or,
stream.
or in
Do
your
it.
HUD.
Yeah, you've got the data stream. This is now. Yeah, this is the morning of December 23rd. So, a couple of days till Christmas,
right before
guys.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
I wonder if
Not
I'm gonna
making
get
one for
any
Christmas.
presents from Aunt May, considering that I just cussed her out.
Yeah, she's just like, that damn Jezebel, just give her a bunch of coal.
Knowing me, I'd use it for barbecue.
Well,
Yeah.
this is presuming that we're going to be around that day, because the way things have been
No.
going.
We're gonna be busy. We're gonna
Yeah.
be busy. Gee whiz. What a session. This
Yeah.
was awesome.
All right. Well, I'm glad you
Yeah.
guys had a good time. Thank you for your notes. I will divvy out XP over the week and get prepped for Monday.
Yay!
Have a magical Monday, guys.
Yay!
Y'all take
Okay.
care.
All right.
Had fun.
Have a good one. See you next
Hasta
time.
pasta!